The Dodge WC-55 is a light vehicle for the UK faction. It comes early to early mid-game, and it is great at infantry support with the VGO Vickers machine gun 96, and also sports the anti-tank capability of the 37mm M6 kind. The penetration of this is 110 range, maximum 27, up to 10 range, 82 penetration. That means at maximum it can penetrate a Lux at maximum range, which is the one you want to counter. It has a speed of 36 and is very fast, and it's very cheap at 220 MP and can be bought quicker than the Germans can buy their Lux or 222s. It is also one of the preferred units in the early game for the UK faction. When to buy? At the start, if you want to go a light vehicle, you can choose between a Daimler and Tetrarch. They're pretty much the same price, with these being a bit more expensive. I like the Dodge at 220 MP because it is less susceptible in the early game versus the units that they might field, such as the AT rifle and the 20mm counters from the Lux and the 222. Basically, they can't really kill it, but they can damage it and immobilize it. Other reason, it has a better MG for infantry support. The difference between this, though, in late game I would not buy the Dodge compared to these ones. I prefer these ones because this one can't really potentially flank tanks because it hasn't got a fully traversable turret. As you can see here, it's a pretty good arc here, but can't 360 rotation, so you can't really flank tanks very easily with this. And also at the late game, the enemy has many things in the field that can kill it, because this tank is very easily damaged by HE shells, AP shells, or even small arm fire from rifles and MGs. But the thing is, it's easily damaged but not easily killed. It can only be killed by a HE shell or an AP grenade. You should not use the Dodge this way. Basically, I'll be sending it straight down into the enemy territory without having any infantry go past the scout. So usually what you want to do is not do this. You send one guy across and at least have some infantry there to draw the fire away from the Dodge. The reason for this, specifically for the Dodge, is because the Dodge is so weak versus small arms, and the small arms like rifles can actually destroy the engine and make it immobile. And also in this scenario, I've actually moved it pretty fast into a location, and you can see here when you move fast and you get immobilized, the Dodge actually turns to an area where it was moving slightly towards. So now I'm pretty much trapped, unable to shoot the guys I want to over here, and it's just stuck and it's going to die. So basically, make sure you don't move when you're attacking with the Dodge, and also do not walk into the enemy without infantry support. In this example, I'll be showing you how to use a Dodge. Basically, you just want to have the infantry in front. It doesn't really matter too much how perfect the execution is. Just make sure that there's some fire being drawn away from your Dodge to your infantry. And then when your Dodge engages, it's actually stationary and it's not moving. So it doesn't actually, when it gets destroyed on the engine, it won't actually spin out. But in this case here, it doesn't actually get shot at the engine because the enemy is shooting at the infantry. So I'm just supporting up with my Dodge, making sure I take the infantry out, using some of my HE shells as well to help support, and making sure I stay in a position where I can slightly expect the enemy. So I don't want to, let's say, always turn this way. I want to make sure I'm pretty much in a straight arc where I expect the enemy. Usually when I decide to buy a Dodge, I get it as soon as I see the Lux or 222. So in this case here, you have to make sure you spot the 222 and Lux before you send the Dodge up. The reason for this is you want to engage the 222 and Lux at max range. You have 110 range and they have 90mm, or 90 range, and pretty much just shoot them from far as much as you can. You don't have to DC it, you can let the AI shoot if you want, and just shoot them from a max range, and you can go close if you want. The 222 can't actually kill you, as you'll see shortly. I'll just let it fire at me. So it doesn't actually destroy it, it will just kill the engine or immobilize it. So as long as you're stationary and you're facing the right way, that's fine. You can have an arc of shooting down here or down here. So make sure you are in the right location when you are engaging this frontally, and eventually this will die. This is a real in-game scenario where I've engaged a Luke. As you can see, I've moved up to the Luke where I have a full access to it, so he's right down the center. So if he moves a little bit, I can still shoot him. So I'm just going to stay in this area and try to shoot him down from the front. And you can see here, it doesn't actually kill. It can't kill the dodge. It'll just decrew it. So you can just keep sending infantry into it to man it, then take out the Luke. So even if he moves, I still have a good arc to keep shooting. So the point is, make sure you're engaging it at the center. And sometimes where the elevation's a bit funny, you do have to DC. I don't usually do that though, but it's another example basically on how to engage. Another thing with the dodge, it's quite quick to repair, so while it's going, I'll just summarize. Basically, the dodge is brought to counter the 222 Lukes, in my opinion, and it's a safe buy at the start because there isn't much that can kill it, unless you use it quite silly in gung-ho by charging in. You don't want to do that. You want to stay back at maximum range and make sure you have infantry in front to draw away some of the small arms fire. It's also a great infantry support unit with its MG, and it's decent anti-tank capability. Remember also, you can use it to take out tanks if you want later, so if it survives this era, you'll be fighting the medium tanks, and you can of course use the APCR round load that in to take out the medium of the Panzer IIIs. Also versus tanks, it's pretty good because people sometimes load AP shells. AP shells don't destroy these, so they have to load a HE shell. So if they're expecting to attack a tank, they've got an AP shell loaded. The dodge can actually get a few sneaky shots in because the enemy wasn't prepared. So you can see it's pretty quick to repair. It's already pretty much repaired now. So it's a pretty good unit. Hopefully that gives you some good insight on it.